government school, the one, and then
I am Kodili-nye, bringing you the address of the Anambra State Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, addressing the owners of school, private and mission schools in the state. Anambra State is a southeastern state of Nigeria, and we're gonna listen and watch what he's telling them. And he made a contribution of over $1 billion Naira, because the government is partnering with them in maintenance of the schools, of those public mission and private schools in the state. There has been a tradition over the years, and this has continued in his government, and we are going to continue to listen to what he's talking about. And let us keep on listening, and I will come and discuss. I am Kodili-nye. I appreciate your efforts in watching our videos. Continue to support us. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and always put on the notification button, and share this good news of this vlog. And I promise to be there in bringing better videos for you, bringing entertainment, bringing all sorts of good things that will delight your heart. I am Kodili-nye. Let's listen to him as he addresses. This is Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State, the governor of Anambra State.
Education system and the little support as well as government who could give to the mission schools as it well. But before we go into that, I'm going to make my short remarks. I want to say that our education program, or what a component of our larger agenda, we have what we call the 5 fingers of the solution agenda. The first is security, law, and order. The second is infrastructure and economic transformation. The third one, human capital and social agenda. And the fourth is governance and value system. And the fifth, environment, towards a clean, planned, sustainable environment, cities, markets, and communities. These are the 5 pillars, if you like. Now, if I organize that, I would have third one, human capital and social agenda. And within the context of that, we're doing quite a whole lot, and we have quite a whole lot planned. I saw social healthy living. I saw my commissioner for health. So okay, come. I will give you maybe 5-10 minutes if you can just summarize for us what else is going on in one of the figures of that social agenda, of that human capital and social agenda, because that's education, health, youths, stuff, and the vulnerable groups, dealing with the vulnerable, so to speak, what we're doing in terms of tech and innovation districts and so on and so forth. That's all part of that agenda. But I wanted them to say a word or two about health, where we're headed to in the area of health. Because because you participate very actively in this sector, it's good that you also get a feel. Get the list of hospitals and so on in Anambra. I think 1,000 plus hospitals of private sector. Then you have the missions, and then you have the government coming in. But I think the underlying thing for now, the public sector in the area of education and health largely took something that looks like, I wouldn't describe it as a backseat, largely. And the public sector component of each of these, the area of especially health and education, slacked fundamentally backwards. And part of our agenda is to get this back. It's the primary duty of government to provide these facilities for the citizens and not to become a supporter and play a supporting role. It is their primary duty to provide, and any other person is supporting. That's what it is. Every other place, it is the primary duty of government to do it. Every other person supports government. But what has happened is that government likely abdicated and relying on the supportive infrastructure to drive these areas. In the area of health and education, we're now being very deliberate, very intentional in trying to reverse that and for government to play its primary role. So if you don't mind, I just wanted to call on Dr. Awka, who is our commissioner for health, just to say a few words.
January. This is completed oxygen plant at Onitsha. I didn't mention that we started it when we were still office and it's completed at General Hospital Onitsha. This is then the last December we started deliberately on cervical cancer screening, free cervical cancer screening and treatment. And we set a target of 5,000. This is the one for government inaugurating it. We did it in conjunction with CHILD, Creating Health and Social Initiative and World Health Organization. And you'll be surprised about the people that have benefited from this. If you look at December when we started at 32, now we have 7,277 people that have had their free cervical screening. And unfortunately is that about 2% of those people were positive and they are receiving treatment now. And these are at no single cost to those patients.
I mean, the reason I asked him to speak, to give us a brief of this, is because I know that around this table, you also players in this field of health. It's just for you to know that in the public health area, the aspect of government, what we are trying to do, what we met. I can imagine the entire general hospitals in the state when we came. None had a doctor. Healthcare, some of them were overgrown by weed, bush, and so on. Several local governments didn't even, still don't have general hospitals. Anambra West doesn't have. Well, they are moving to go and build one there. Ayamelo doesn't have. Well, they're going to build one now. Today, World Teachers Day, and on Abuja. And I think they have 5 prizes also, President's prizes also, and then 3 are coming down to Anambra. There is a federal government college in Naira or something. One, there is Awka, the capital city, secondary school, which happens to be a public government school, the one, and then the mission, I think it's mission private, the standards, Carol standards, yes. I learned that was, he was inviting me to come and be a commissioner for my friend Bishop, Bishop Okonkwo. Some of you, because you are clergy, many of you attended mission schools and so on. But When I was in primary school, there was nothing like private schools. Okay, I went on a primary school, 5 years ago. I started off at St. Charles Primary School, 97, before it was then taken over and they renamed as Oslo State School. They didn't find any private stuff. The children of the poor and the children of the rich attended the same school, taught by the same teachers. It's a human being who will conquer the future. So, but there's binding resource constraint, and that's why we seek partnership. And we thank the church, the various denominations, for your efforts, investment, and commitment in this regard. And the Anambra and our resource thing in terms of the purchasing power, guide, it's just maybe compared to previous regimes who probably don't have, if you compare that in dollar terms or the purchasing power, probably don't have more than 20%. The church, partnership with the communities, partnership with the private sector. We keep, pushing this idea of asking people adopt a school if you can. But if you can't adopt a school, just buy a pencil for a child. Somebody just do something. Looking into that school nearest to your place, you'll be amazed what you can do. When I started the campaign, that was when Peter was still governor, I gave a lecture in Lagos, and I was telling them about I use the Nano Crystal champagne to give the demonstration. I said, those of you who drink crystal, just save the cost of your brand 1 week, 1 bottle a week. And I computed where crystal can now 75,000 a bottle. But I saw my number times, I probably own brand. So if you save that for 1 year, well, they agree save there. And just visit the nearest school to your place in the village. You'll be amazed what a difference. So they collect in all public schools, and this is effective. In fact, there's some world teachers there. Now, if I have 4 principals also, and when they now public school or 2 principals and 2 head teachers. In public schools where we're still
I am Kodili-nye. It's talking about the Anambra State, the #1 state in education in Nigeria, winning the president prize. Out of the 5 prizes, the president offered, Anambra took 3 out of the 5. At the moment, Anambra is the #1 state in education in Nigeria, which they want to maintain by his proactive measures in order not to lag behind.
Some of you, because you are clergy, many of you attended mission schools.
I am Kodili-nye. Remember, we are listening to Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State, Nigeria, southeastern state of Nigeria, a state known for their powers in virtually every human endeavors, industries, enterprises, businesses, education. They are #1 at the moment in Nigeria in the quality of education based on real education. And the governor is trying to maintain that, #1 position in Nigeria, and we are all happy because of that. It's very important for any state in Nigeria to invest in education. Former Governor Peter Obi of Anambra State started the revolution, educational revolution in Anambra State, which most of the governors in that followed him continued. But it seems that Chukwuma Soludo is trying to take it to another level. Let's continue to listen. I am Kodili-nye. Continue to share our vlogs. Support us. God bless you.
I was telling them about I use the Nano Crystal champagne to give the demonstration. I said, those of you who drink crystal, just save the cost of your brand 1 week, 1 bottle a week. And I computed on where crystal can now 75,000 a bottle. When I saw my number times, I probably own brand here. So if you save that for 1 year, well, they agree save there. And bro, just visit the nearest school to your place in the village. You'll be amazed what a difference. So they collect in all public schools, and this is effective. In fact, there's some world teachers there. Now, if I have 4 principals also, and when they now public school or 2 principals and 2 head teachers. In public schools where we're still so Kajari collective who suspended them. I actually asked for them to be sacked. So today they were pleading. So I will reach a contract now. Contract so I put the to government. Will collapse. The state has collapsed. Now that we have intentionally trying to bring back the dry bones of the public sector, education, we still continue to appreciate you because you're still, providing very huge service. But the only thing when I talk the public sector to the level where people now becomes a choice. They decide, do I want here, or do I want here, or do I want here? There must be other considerations where they will now pick and choose. We'll continue to appreciate you.
I am Kodili-nye. We are rounding up this conversation. Continue to listen, subscribe, support us. And he's presenting the check of almost over 1 billion Naira in the local
Commissioner for Education, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, members of State Executive Council here, National President of NUT, Comrade Anambra, Chairman of the occasion, Mr. Dr. Kodili-nye, Chairman NLC, Comrade Chairman PPSSC, Professor Kechi.
Teachers. That is it. The hand that cradles the child and rules the world.
I am Kodili-nye. This is part of the World Teachers Day. This is Governor Soludo of Anambra State, Nigeria, addressing the gathering of teachers to celebrate, to mark the event today in Awka, Anambra State, southeast of Nigeria. We are bringing a little short clip of it. I appreciate all your effort in supporting us, and the little effort from you, the time spent is what is very, very important, and I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting this young channel to grow. My promise is that we are going to bring in you exciting things that will delight your heart. In the nearest future, we will be bringing you travel vlogs that you will also enjoy. And as we grow, please help us to get to 1,000 subscribers. Share to your friends, and discuss this vlog with your friends and support us. Please support us. Please, as you watch, please subscribe. Tell your friends subscribe. You can do it. Subscribe. Subscribe. I am Kodili-nye. Thank you very much for your effort.
And then also teaching. And I want to believe that these two are the components in our reflection where we'll be paying attention to. I understand you have a lecturer who will be speaking to you on this matter today about continuous learning, continuous upgrading of our skills. Because the world in which we live is changing. Because the world of education is also doing what? Changing. The textbooks you have before you finish one is obsolete. And so as you reflect, we're going to have a system where the teachers continuously refine continuous learning. It's a lifetime learning process. Is it? Yes. That is it. That's why teachers, when you say you are the greatest, when you say this person is a teacher, it means the immediate impression the person must have about this teacher is that this is a person who is also continuously learning. Because you couldn't be a teacher if you are not learning. You'll be obsolete very quickly. Yeah, grow obsolete very quickly. So, teachers must be teachers. And in Anambra, our goal is that our teachers must continuously be on the cutting edge, and our teachers must be the best in order to give the best. The winners happen to be one, a principal of a public school, and second, a principal of a private school. Wow. Anambra is on the move. And as we finish now, as I leave, the next event, I'm sure they already get it set, will be saying the missionaries, the leaders of the missions, the church leaders.
Sorry for the
because
shaking.
you know we have got 4 categories of schools at the primary and
I am
secondary.
Kodili-nye.